Formula One has always been more than just a sport. It is a proving ground for innovation, a battleground where engineering genius meets human courage at unimaginable speeds. For decades, every era of Formula One has been defined by moments of transformation. The rise of turbo power, the scream of V10 engines, the arrival of hybrid technology. But now the sport stands on the edge of a change so deep, so dramatic, that it threatens to redefine what Formula One truly is. In 2026, the rules don't just evolve, they reset everything. This reset begins with a simple truth. Modern Formula One cars have become too heavy, too complex, and too dependent on aerodynamics to race closely. The machines are incredible feats of engineering, but they have also created a paradox. Cars that are unbelievably fast, yet often unable to follow one another without losing performance. The 2026 regulations are Formula One's answer to that problem. They are designed to strip away excess, reintroduce challenge, and place control back where it belongs, in the hands of the driver. The cars themselves will look familiar at first glance, but beneath the surface, they are completely reimagined. They will be smaller, narrower, and up to 30 kilograms lighter than the machines we see today. In a sport where tenths of a second define careers, shedding that much weight is monumental. Lighter cars change everything. The way they turn in, the way they respond to throttle inputs, and the way drivers fight them through high-speed corners. These new cars won't rely on sheer aerodynamic grip to stay planted. They will demand finesse, bravery, and precision. One of the most radical shifts comes from active aerodynamics. For years, Formula One cars have relied on fixed aerodynamic surfaces designed to perform in a narrow window. In 2026, that rigidity disappears. The front and rear wings will actively adjust depending on whether the car is on a straight or entering a corner. On straights, the wings flatten to reduce drag and maximize speed. In corners, they return to high downforce configurations, allowing drivers to attack the apex with confidence. The car becomes adaptive, responding to the track in real time rather than being locked into compromise. This new approach also signals the end of one of the most controversial systems in modern Formula One, DRS. For years, the drag reduction system has been both praised for improving overtaking and criticized for making passes feel artificial. In 2026, DRS is gone. In its place is a system built around energy deployment and strategic timing. Drivers will have access to electrical boost modes that provide extra power, but using them effectively requires intelligence and restraint. Deploy too early, and you're defenseless later. Wait too long, and the opportunity disappears. Overtaking becomes less about pressing a button and more about reading the race. The power units themselves represent one of the boldest technological shifts Formula One has ever attempted. While the 1.6-liter V6 turbo engine remains, the surrounding systems are dramatically simplified. The complex MGUH is removed entirely, reducing costs and lowering the barrier for new manufacturers to enter the sport. At the same time, electric power becomes more important than ever, contributing roughly half of the car's total output. This creates a new kind of racing, where managing electrical energy is just as important as managing tires or fuel. Every lap becomes a calculation. Drivers must decide when to harvest energy, when to deploy it, and when to save it for later in the race. The balance between aggression and patience becomes razor thin. A single mistake in energy management could mean the difference between defending a position or being overtaken down the straight. Strategy is no longer just about pit stops. It lives in every corner, every braking zone, every exit onto full throttle. These sweeping changes have massive consequences for the competitive order. When regulations shift this dramatically, dominance is never guaranteed. Teams that thrive under one set of rules can struggle under another. Midfield teams see opportunity. and new manufacturers see a chance to enter on equal footing. Audi's arrival is only the beginning. The 2026 regulations open the door to a reshaped grid, where success is no longer tied solely to legacy, but to adaptability and vision. Sustainability also moves from marketing promise to technical reality. From 2026 onward, Formula One will run on 100% sustainable fuels. This is not about slowing the sport down or diluting its identity. It is about proving that performance and responsibility can coexist. The sound, the speed, and the spectacle remain, but the technology points forward, not backward. Formula One isn't abandoning its past. It's future-proofing itself. Perhaps the most profound impact of these changes will be felt inside the cockpit. Drivers are already describing the 2026 cars as unforgiving, demanding, and fundamentally different from anything they have raced before. With less aerodynamic grip to mask errors, precision becomes everything. Braking points must be perfect. Throttle application must be exact. Energy management adds another layer of complexity to an already brutal environment. Some drivers will thrive in this chaos. Others will struggle to adapt. This is how Formula One has always created legends. Not in moments of comfort, but in moments of uncertainty. New regulations don't just change lap times, they shape careers. They determine who rises to the challenge and who fades into the background. The 2026 season will not simply crown a champion, it will define an era. When the lights go out in 2026, the sport will look familiar, but it will feel entirely new. The safety nets will be thinner, the margins will be smaller, the consequences will be harsher. Formula One will be lighter, smarter, and more ruthless than ever before. This isn't just the next chapter in the sport's history. It is a rebirth. And when the dust settles, one question will remain. Not who has the fastest car, but who can master the chaos when everything they once knew no longer applies.